So as far as the Patriot movement, and that's what LWN is, we are part of many patriots out there searching for the truth and delivering the news like it should be delivered. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to LWN. It is Monday, July the 25th, 2022. Boy, we got a show planned for you tonight. A lot of stuff going on in the news. I've been trying to keep up with it all day long, and it's hard to keep up, to be honest with you. Just my phone's been blowing up all day, and phone calls, you name it. A lot of stuff's going on right now. So if you like the show, please hit the like button and subscribe. And the best thing you could possibly do for LWN is share this video out, share all of our videos out. I find it pretty cool when I jump on Facebook and I see so many people on Facebook who have shared the show out, and I can't get away from myself. Everywhere I look, it's popping up. So thank you guys for doing that. We find it on YouTube as well. We are on Facebook. We're on Twitch, Frank Speech. We're on all those platforms. So we're ready for a great evening tonight. I got a co-host with me tonight, and we've got a lot to talk about. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring Tammy, the Hammer Nation, in. How you doing, Tammy?
Hey, Mike, I'm doing good. Glad to be here tonight. Thanks for inviting me.
Man, it's a scorcher. It's a scorcher here in Idaho. I'm in the process of moving, and I tried to cool down before the show. It's still 86 degrees in the house, and I don't like being that hot. So I don't mind the heat being outside as long as I can come inside and cool off, but it's almost as hot inside as it is outside. And all three of my air conditioners have been going since I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. And they're just having a hard time keeping up with the heat right now.
Well, you can go ahead and put a cold cloth on the back of your neck if you need to, because I do not want grumpy LW, please, or the scary LW.
I got a better idea, Tammy. What we need to have is a dunk take in the park, and we allow everybody in chat to throw one of those baseballs at the target and dunk me in the nice cool water. I'd go for that right now.
That'd be awesome. You could have your little swimsuit that has little yellow duckies on it and have a nice little ducky in your hand and just have a good time.
How about one around the waist? How about a
nice little flotation device? Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Oh, well, my gosh.
I'm glad I could be the butt of your joke tonight, Tammy.
That's okay. Well, it is hot. I feel bad for you because, the heat gets to you, and it does me too. I haven't been outside that much today, Mike, but here in Georgia, it gets very stifling hot where you walk out and it's like, oh, you can barely breathe. Florida's that way too with all their humidity. So I give the Floridians an extra salute being able to tolerate that heat, but it sure is beautiful in Florida. So they've got that going for them too. And
heck, I got people inviting me to a pool party, Tammy.
You do?
Yeah,
I want to come too.
I go
like
for a
pool parties
right now.
Yeah, sounds so good. Even if it's one of those kiddie pools, Mike. You ever notice remember those little like $10 kiddie pools you fill up with the hose? They're just a blast. Dogs love them. It's nice for dogs. But
hey, I got one for Noah a couple years ago. I crawled right in it.
I was going to say, but that's what happens. It cools you off. So why not, right? You got to have a little fun in life. Who says you need a big pool or to go to a pool, just get one of those suckers. Or, running through the sprinkler was always a good time too. I love doing that, but I used to trip
Or how
over
about the
it a lot.
banana slide? How about remember the banana slides when we were a kid?
Or the slip and slides too.
The
Those
slip
were
and slides, and here in Idaho, we got a couple of really cool places. We got this place called the Falls, where you jump off about a 30-foot cliff into the
whoa.
cold water below. That's a lot of fun. And then, of course, tubing and rafting down the rivers around here. Class 4, class 5, bring it on.
Whitewater rafting is a blast. I have to admit, when I did it, I had a really good time, but we went when the waves were gentle. We didn't go at peak season, which I think over in Virginia is October, September, October. Went early in the summer, so it wasn't too bad. But of course, I fell out, and of course, I had to be like lifted up. Like those, I've said it before, those people who are the guides on those little rubbery rafts that you're on, when they can reach over and just go and lift you up out of the water, that says something. That's a good workout day in and day out.
Well, we're going to get the show kicked off here in just a minute, but I do have one question. Around here, we also use horse troughs for our pools. I
Hey,
don't know if you've ever done that or anybody in chat's ever done that. But while they're clean, when you have actually clean water in them, sometimes when I was out fencing and stuff, we'd hop in that in a hot afternoon, and that's not a horrible thing to do either. Using a horse trough.
that's actually a very good idea. Those are decent size. When we had our farm and I had horses and cows, we had those. Yes, 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 yes. But you do have to get them clean because they're so slippery after they've like drank out of them from all the
Yeah, they can
slobber.
get kind of
You can,
nasty. They can get
you
kind of
cannot get out
nasty.
of it. You cannot get out of it. We should just have a show like this tonight and psych everybody out. Nope, we don't really have any information. We're just going to talk about this. I'm just
We're
kidding.
gonna just talk about ways of cooling off because it's so stinking hot. Hit
Yeah.
that like button for me, folks, if you can. Help us with that like button and subscribe to us if you haven't subscribed yet. And most importantly, share the video out. That's really getting it out lately. Actually, we're still climbing right now. I broke 2,000 subscribers on Truth Social. So that was
Nice.
pretty cool. And we're climbing our way up to 19,000 here on YouTube. We broke over, what was it? Man, it was 8,200 on Facebook right now,
Nice.
Tammy.
Very good. That's awesome.
It was at 8,200, 7,200. I don't know. We just keep climbing because so many people out there have shared our videos out and more people keep finding us. So thank you for the coffee tonight. It says, love my LWN family. Thanks for the support. Really appreciate it. And I love those coffees because it comes right to my phone, Tammy, and then
Oh,
I'm able to read the messages to everybody. So that's pretty neat. I really do enjoy those. So
very nice because that's the way to support the channel, Mike. We get most of the percentage of the money that gets sent in, so people's dollar stretches even further. And a few people send in $5 coffee, it adds up real fast. So we sure do appreciate that.
absolutely 95% instead of the wimpy little 60% that YouTube was giving us. That's why we turned off Super Chat because I got tired of feeding uh the people that were censoring me. It didn't even make any sense. It's kind of like you know, somebody breaks into your house and they got a gun and you actually hand them the bullets to shoot you. I mean, it just
So
didn't make any sense to me. So we just decided to do away with that. So let's get rocking and rolling, Tammy. I know we got a lot to talk about tonight. I had some phone calls right before the show tonight and some things. I seen a few of them early in the chat talking about it. I know Monkey put out some stuff today too. So I'll just go ahead and let you kind of lead off on where you want to start tonight, and we'll just hammer down.
Well, I think I would like to start where about President Trump. He was just at a little speech, the Student Action Summit by Turning Point USA. They were hosting it in Tampa, Florida. And he was basically making prep plans for the military members that have been booted over the jabberdoodle. And he's talking about restoration as far as their that were dishonorably discharged, but restoration of their job positions should they want it, back pay, And he said, an apology from the president. So I thought to myself, that is pretty interesting stuff. You know, we always talk about, and he talks about how he loves the military. He brought the military back to life. You know, he had all this money that he put into it, which is, to me, you can't put enough money into our military. They're brave men and women. Obviously, we know that the sacrifices their families have make all the time for us to keep us safe. No amount of money is enough. So I thought that was a beautiful, wonderful thing that I heard him say, and he's already thinking about them. And it is such a vast difference compared to the administration we have in power, so-called in power now, who could give, a rat's behind about our military, and all he cares about is sending a huge amounts of money that we can't even comprehend over to foreign countries and to help supply them with weaponry and stuff. So it's just such a vast difference, Mike, of Biden versus Trump. And I just think when you start paying attention to the things that Mr. T is still doing and how he's still fighting hard, not just for the military members, but for this country, I hope it wakes up a lot more people to the difference between the two. I don't see anybody really paying attention to Biden anymore next time go around, or even the Dems for that matter, because we're not in such a good state of affairs here. I don't think if it wasn't for Trump and his positivity and his drive out there doing these rallies and stuff, I think we'd be in a lot more of a depressed state than we actually are.
Tammy, that was a wonderful, wonderful statement that you just made, because we were on Podbean earlier today and we talked about people who are getting tired and want to throw the towel in. They just want it all to be over. What a powerful statement that you just made right there. If it was not for the fact of Mr. T out there doing rally after rally after rally, telling us not to give up, he's coming back very soon. A lot of people, honestly, I think with the situation that the country is in, would just throw the towel in and say, who cares at this point? Um, so with God's help, what a powerful individual that we have, that is never quit us, never failed us, constantly in the battle. And I think that was great for you to say that, Tammy. I don't think that I've ever heard anybody really look at it that way. So it really just kind of perked me up and made me think about that. And his statement that he made to the military, um, to put out a statement like that, how
Uh-huh.
bold that was, um, to reinstate military members, service members who were wrongfully discharged, and not only that, but to pay them back pay for that, to
Hmm.
reinstate them immediately. And he didn't say, now listen to this, he didn't say just military. He also made mention of patriots all over the country that have been wrongfully terminated. um, is that something that a new Trump administration would work hard on? Because remember, Trump doesn't really put anything out there that he's not willing to back up or to finish, right? Promises
Right.
made, promises kept. So is he somehow making a promise to not only the military but Americans in general? Your thoughts?
Absolutely, I think he is. You know, there's not one thing that he has said so far that has not come to fruition. And, you know, they always say, follow someone by the fruits that they leave and the fruits they produce, and et cetera, et cetera. Every time that man goes anywhere, look at all the people that are there. Look at their demeanor. Look how happy they are. Look how long they stand in lines, how they camp overnight. They wait for this man. This is a man that isn't president anymore. And he still carries this kind of weight, because you know why? This is what America is. He represents great leadership, great inspiration, and he shows us how to get things done. He's shown us how to get things done. We are capable of making the changes as we, the people, feel we need to make in this country. We gave up for a long time. We got tired, we got lazy, or we got content in our lives. You know, our lives were pretty good, and we're like, you know what? I don't need to pay attention. I can't change anything. My life is pretty good. What's it going to hurt? Well, here we are these years later, and this is the state that we're in right now. And I have to say to people, when you look at the enormity of what is happening across the world, and not just America, across the world. And you look at all the different components that have been exposed, broken apart, and things that need to be built back up from the ground up and restructured. It's enormous. So when you say, I'm tired, I just want this over. When you say, I don't want this anymore, I just want things to go back the way they were, that's not going to happen. You're not going to have that peaceful, quiet life anymore. It is no longer there. The left and the extremists have taken it away. So I'm going to implore you, like I said on Podbean today, when you get fed up and tired, you look at these people who are on the front lines, like the frontline doctors. We look at Trump. We look at different, patriots like ourselves who put our faces out there, who fight the good fight and stand strong. Those of you that are tired, I say go to your knees and pray for energy, for God's strength to re-energize yourself. And instead of growing weary and tired and fatigued, like I can't make a change, ask God to give you the fuel, the fire, and the passion and the strength to get out there and do what will re-energize you to help make a difference. Because these people are on the front lines constantly. Most of us are just in the background getting information that's coming in. If you're fatigued getting information, imagine how that man and these military people and everybody else that is fighting the good fight to save this country, imagine how they feel every day when they're in the fight. They have their lives threatened, their families, are threatened. They make great sacrifices, and we need to support that, because I don't know anybody that wants this country to go into socialism and everything else that the Biden administration is trying to push.
Amen, Tammy. Another powerful statement right there. For some of us who are just here watching the show or being on the show like us, for us to get weary and tired, you're right. There's so many people that are actually on the front line. Imagine how they feel. So I believe that shows like this, the vibration that we put off helps those people on the front line. If all of us here are positive and we got positive attitudes and we put off a really strong positive vibration, I believe Trump and all those people actually get pieces of that, and it helps drive
Mm-hmm.
them and keep their spirits up as well. When Trump and other people can tune in to shows like this and listen to the way we talk, I believe they do. And I believe if they hear us being positive, that we're still in this with them and supporting them. I don't know about you, but if I was in their position and I heard things like that, I would definitely be like, all right, what I'm doing actually matters. What I'm doing is making a difference. And these people are still with me. They're still behind me. And I've never left Trump. He's
Mm-mm.
never left us. Tammy, we've talked about, I'm going to bring up a couple little things real quick, and then we'll talk
Yeah.
about the military presence. Okay. So the motorcade that went through Florida just a few short days ago. I can't say who really put this out there, but it was given to me. And so the motorcade that was coming through that area there in Florida, they looked out the hotel room, and there was motorcycle cop after motorcycle cop, um, local police and law enforcement at the front and the rear of the motorcade. They told us the only thing that wasn't in that motorcade was the beast itself. Now,
Yeah.
this was Trump's motorcade that was coming through Florida just a short few days ago. Now, you look at that motorcade right there, and you tell me that that's not the president of the United States. Now, whether he is acting president or he never left us, it could be, that yes, uh, the event that happened November of 2020, um, that was won by him. But maybe right now the military is overseeing things. I have no idea. But just the mere fact that everywhere this guy goes, he has an elite security detail. We're talking Delta Force. They don't mess around. They're top notch. You can just tell that
Mm-hmm.
they're all business. And then you compare that to his rallies and the thousands and tens of thousands of people who are constantly still showing up for a rally. And then you look at the other side. Nappy time at 9:30 a.m. because he's already had a hard day after a half hour work. Nobody shows up at any of his events or anything that he does. He's got the sloppiest detail I have ever seen. Like, we're
Mhm.
talking sloppy.
It's
I
bad.
believe an eighth grade class could watch video of that man's security detail and pick it apart like we do. It's really pathetic, to be honest with you. He projects weakness. He is weak. He's a
Yes.
shell of a man. We all know that he's a puppet, and there's masters behind the curtain pulling the strings on this guy. You tell me the difference between the two. How could you not possibly see it, and how could you possibly think that the supposed guy, who's never even to my knowledge even been in the Oval Office, or at least had a press release from the Oval Office in 2
Absolutely.
years, which I find very, very odd that he has not once put anything out there from the Oval Office. Just like, for example, with what's going on with the economy or with fuel prices, to sit behind the Resolute desk and look in the camera and talk to America and say, "Hey, listen, I got a plan," or "I don't have a plan," or "I'm just an idiot," whatever. He's such an embarrassment to
Yes.
America, and there is no doubt in my mind that Trump is either still in charge, or he's waiting for something to happen to come back in charge. And I don't know what that is. We talk about the shift, and I really think that it's happening, and it's been happening, and we're moments away, actually. But your thoughts on that?
Well, a couple points, Mike. First of all, when it comes to Biden, nobody goes. Not only do they not go to his events, his own people don't want to be around him. When he's at events of his own people, he's like always doing this, like walking. Nobody wants to be seen with
Hey,
him.
Tammy, Tammy,
It's like I know, invisible
whose
handshake.
hand are you trying to shake back there, Gumby? I mean,
Yeah.
who are you trying to shake hands with? Seriously.
And it hasn't happened just once, Mike. It's happened a couple times, and it's not just in the so-called White House or his private events. These are international events with dignitaries and people around that go, "Oh my gosh, this is what you send us to represent your country." That right there in itself
Let
is
me let
bad
me let me
news.
pause you for just a second. John H just threw something in the chat that we've been talking about for a long time, and John H is 100% correct. The guy falls down not once but twice going up the stairs to Air Force One. Not a Secret Service agent in sight. Nobody comes to his rescue. Nobody checks and see if maybe he took a golf ball to the head, or maybe he took a BB gun. I don't know. He crashes on his bike, and the people that come to his rescue are actually the lamestream media.
Yeah.
No Secret Service. Um, you can't even you can't even you can't put the two in the same room together and call either. You can't call him a president, because he's not a president. He's never been my president. He was never. I got to watch what I say.
Yeah.
He's never been voted in.
Yeah. Exactly. And the only thing he's known for are these gaffes and these how many times has he been talking and the media protects him by cutting off his feed because he's
Mhm.
off script, or they're not sure or he's like this because his medication or whatever they have him on to prop him up starts wearing off. I mean, that if that's not a sign of weak leadership, and once again his cognitive abilities are not there, and no testing. We've talked about that before. I mean, it's absolutely clown
Well,
world.
even
It's horrible.
even people on the left are whispering 25th. There are whispers starting to go around about the 25th. Are they going to use the 25th to usher in old Hills Up, or are they going to use the 25th to usher in somebody with a very massive motorcade? Because I think it's possible they use the 25th, and then they come out and say, what happened in 2020, Supreme Court have heard those arguments, and this is the rightful place for this person to step in, and then we roll into 2024, and he gets elected for the third time.
Exactly. Well, and the last thing on Mr. B on this point, Mike, is the one thing he loves to do is go around sniffing people. And now that he's got the sickness, that takes the sniffing away, so he doesn't even have that left. So I'm sure he's going to be quite angry because he has nothing left. He can't even eat his ice cream and taste it because the taste goes away. And mind you,
Oh,
this is the
poor guy.
president. I know. Don't you feel bad? And this is the president that said, "Hey, get one of these and you'll be just fine. I promise." Wink, wink. He's 4 in. They're recommending a 5th, and he's still got it. So he's still got it, still spread it. It's ridiculous. And as far as Mr. T in comparison, anybody Mr. T endorses carries a lot of weight, and he's flipped a lot of different seats and a lot of different things across the country, and that's why he's going out there. And no matter, I guess I want to say to people, no matter what's going on behind the scenes, whether he's boss, he's not boss, military, the point is Mr. T's still out there fighting his butt off for
Mhm.
all of us. The man is no spring chicken, but he sure does act like when he's like 74 years old, and he has the energy of I don't know what. You know why? Because he's God led. He loves the country, and he wants to save it. So that's it, pure and simple. It's not like this is fun to do. It is draining to do what that man's doing at any age, let alone at his age. And he goes and he goes and he goes.
He
He
doesn't even
doesn't
look
have
like
to.
he doesn't even look like he slows down or he's getting older. And this is something
No.
else that Mr. T has an effect over. Not just America, but we got Beth here from Facebook who says, I think that's Britain's flag. It's Britain's flag. It's not Australia. For Trump, he had such a huge effect for people all around the world. He wasn't, I mean, obviously he was America first,
Yes.
obviously. But he also cared about people around the world. He
Yes.
would not allow what's going on right now around the world to be going on. He would be stepping up and saying, "Hey, listen, you treat your people right, or I'll do whatever I need to do to handle business." I mean, the guy was definitely for humanity. They say all the time that the Biden administration and Biden is the greatest president for humanity that there ever was. That's a bunch of BS. There are things happening to people all around the world, and he could care less. He doesn't even know that
Yep.
he's supposed to be president. He has no clue what he's doing, and Trump just wouldn't stand for any of that stuff that's going on.
And I love that point, Mike. That's not made all the time about the international business deals that he does and the relationships. When he stepped across that forbidden zone with Kim Jong Un and he got invited there, everybody said, "What
Mhm.
is he being friends with him for? He's not a dummy." Isn't it better to try to have peace than it is? All these politicians, all these years, have not really tried for peace. They want wars. They want control. They stick their noses in and sacrifice our brave men and women for years and years and years when it's not necessary. It's a money thing. It isn't about America and we the people. It's about trying to govern everybody in ways that we have no business doing. So for
Well,
Mr. T to
war
do, go ahead.
war is their mechanism to create their wealth. And think about this for a second, Tammy. There was no wars, there were no conflicts when Mr. T was in office. The minute that Biden comes in, here we are. We're all over the board, threatening people. He's made
Yeah.
he's made comments about China and all sorts of things. Now, did you guys hear? And maybe some of you did. Taiwan was actually running sirens today, and they were running exercises today for
Wow.
possible invasion from China. So that's out there in the news, or that's at least what I was told this afternoon. Um, and what I'm saying is none of this stuff happened under the Trump administration. They didn't pull none of this nonsense like they're doing right now. So we got Ukraine, we got China doing their stuff, and I think there's going to be a whole lot more here real soon if we continue down the path with this guy.
Absolutely. And the only people that were angry with Trump or calling him orange bad man were the leftists or people that because he couldn't be controlled. And the thing is, I mean, he's one of the few people that I feel Putin respected. Every time you saw Putin and him at these summits and stuff, or the way they engaged together, Putin would smile. He actually got Putin to laugh and smile. To me, that says a lot because that dude does not smile. And he had a respect for him. And, we don't have any respect or any face value left. It's us, we, the people and the warriors and the patriots trying to save this country and stand behind Mr. T and everybody else that's trying to fight for this country. It surely isn't our so-called president and its administration. They don't want anything to do with America. They want America to go away and become, a socialist country like they want. And it's absolutely it's crazy. So
Yes, it is.
he's just done a lot, Mike. He's done so much, and it is one man. But you know what? There's a lot of people. It's a movement now. See, when you see him and he's out and about, the energy that he creates, the excitement, the sense of patriotism, and what America stands for, he brings us back to our founding fathers' days of what America used to be. Biden doesn't do that.
You're right. I saw the comment in chat about putting this in perspective. Oh, Biden is only 3 years older than Trump. And thanks for sharing that, John H.
Oh, wow.
Biden is only 3 years older than Trump. And look at the devastation with that man. Whether you believe he's an actor or not an actor, he's got dementia, whatever it may be, it isn't even close to, when he was on the campaign trail, everybody was talking about how hard of a worker Trump was, right? How he put in 20 plus hour days and nonstop work. And he just seemed like he never stopped, and he didn't. And so old Biden there, he makes comment, I can run up the stairs and I can do this and I can do that. Like he's some kind of superhero or something. Dude, you can't even get up the stairs without falling down, and you can't even ride a bicycle without tipping over. So you know what? Sit down and shut up. We don't want to hear your nonsense no more. Here's a couple other interesting facts. Don't forget the soccer ball. We've talked about that a couple of times. We talked about Putin and the soccer ball. I think that had meaning, or it had something in it. I have no idea, but that was not something that I felt like, oh, you know what? I'm going to give you a soccer ball for a gift. I think the gift was inside. Here's a couple other important parts and some points that we bring up every now and again. There are many, many people getting arrested out there, Tammy. And I know a lot of people say nothing's happening, but there are arrests happening. And this is the thing that they can't dispute. No matter how hard they try to debunk this, there are many world leaders stepping down.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are stepping down all at once. And so I look at that as that shift has already happened. It's already moving. It's not done moving. It's going to continue to shift, and we're going to see a lot more stuff come out. Fauci, I believe, is going to be on the run here real soon, but they're going to nab him. We talked about the WHO and the possibility. There's no confirmation on it yet, but we heard that he had been arrested as well out of the Vancouver Times. So, I don't know, but just a lot of stuff seems to be really moving at a rapid pace. And it's really hard to keep up with a lot of this stuff because it's just nonstop.
Yeah, and once again, with Mr. T, it was generating the excitement and the happiness, Mike, right? With Mr. B, and you talk about the age difference, and you look at how well, Mr. B also got all the jabberdoodles, right? And Mr. B was like all about that, right? Mr. T was all about the therapeutics and stuff. But let's here we are 2 years later. Let's not push aside the fact of how many athletes, young, physically fit athletes that do it for a living, are dropping dead. Different little heart conditions, blood clots, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So once again, where there's smoke, there's fire. You can't discount that. Remember, all this was experimental, and people made tough choices, And a lot of these people were forced into it to keep their jobs, or these athletes were for it. Because remember, it's a lot of them. I mean, with sports anymore, I really don't pay attention to a lot of it, because when they stop standing for the national anthem and can kneel and all that stuff, I'm like, this is a bunch of, yeah,
Yeah.
boo-hickety. I'm not dealing with it anymore. But these athletes are losing their lives, and there has to be an explanation why there are so many young, physically fit athletes losing their lives and dying suddenly. Somebody's going to have to address this eventually. You can't just take them one by one and say, well, this was because of this. This was because, no, let's do a total survey on it, and let's find out, get the data and information on them. Let's do that, shall we? Because we're 2.5 years in to this jabberdoodle that supposedly we were mandated to get because it would save our lives. So experimental. So that just kind of tweaks in the back of my mind constantly. Every time I see that, it just doesn't make sense at all.
Well, here's an article that I read earlier today. Um, I'm going to be careful how I say it, because I don't condone violence. I don't condone us going kinetic unless it's absolutely the last resort. All right. I think we should work through everything through the courts. And I know, yes, I'm very aware that the courts are corrupt. Um, but I do believe we should exhaust all options before we ever thought of that last and final plan, like our forefathers did, right? They tried everything they possibly could before the Revolutionary War. But there was an article that came out today, and this is why I think Trump is so heavily involved. This is why I believe there are things at work, because they know how the American people are. Once we flip that switch, there is no coming back from it, period. I guess the article read that there is about a third of Americans across the country that do feel like they're going to have to step up and to make the change with our United States government. That is a heavy number. That's 33% of 330 million people. So that's over 100 million people that feel like that they need to do that. Now, the Revolutionary War was fought by 3% of the population. So
Mhm.
that is a massive, massive number. 3% to 33%. You don't think that Trump realizes that? You don't think that the military realizes that? I believe that with that article, if those numbers are even half of that, um, I believe the Democrats are running scared right now, because they know what's coming and they can't
Yes.
stop it. Um, they're gonna just kind of. It's kind of like, remember when George Bush came into the White House after the Clintons, and remember how the Clintons were poor sports because Al Gore didn't get elected, and they actually trashed the White House, right? They actually trashed the White House and stole a bunch of stuff. And I think that's kind of what you guys are seeing right now. The Democrats know that they've lost. They know what's coming. So they're going to trash America the best that they can before they have to hand it over. It's kind of like getting a car repoed. You know the repo man's coming tomorrow. So you go and you key the car and you slash the tires and you're all pissed off because, you know, you lost. And
Mhm.
I think that's kind of how the Democrats are playing this all out. You know, we lost. We know that November is going to be such a massive red wave. We're going to lose the House, we're going to lose the Senate, and we're just going to do everything we possibly can to destroy or hurt the American people before we have to walk away. Or
Abs-
before we get hauled away.
Yeah, hauled away seems more like it, which is what we're hopeful for. And that's pretty interesting because the director of the WHO that we talked about, that there was rumors that he was arrested, and it's rumored that he's jailed for crimes against humanity. We've heard that word before. So for it to be in a paper and written and that being a possibility, it's allegedly. We don't know yet. Like you said, we can't confirm it, but it just came out. And I just find it interesting how these things, were talked about a while ago and nobody believed it. Yet here we are, things shifted and a lot of it is coming true. We don't know all the components or parts, nor should we, but it is movement, I feel, in the right direction to give us strength and courage and hope. Because you know what? I don't believe Mr. T or any of the people around him would be doing what they're doing if they didn't believe that things could change. Why would they? They could have gone away, had a peaceful, wonderful life, hopefully,
Yeah.
for the rest of their lives. He could afford security. But, I just don't think people realize the depth of the corruption and how far it went and all the different levels it was at, from local into, all the way to the top there, Mike, even in the White House.
Well, I read another article today where Jim Jordan out of Ohio, and thank God for Jim Jordan, and Rand Paul out of Kentucky, they are already poised and ready to go for what happens after November of 2022, meaning the Republicans regain the House and the Senate. They're already putting a plan together for a investigation committee against Fauci himself. And they are talking exactly what you just said, crimes against humanity. And he already knows it's coming. He's made statement about it. He says, yeah, I know that when the Republicans retake the House and the Senate, they're going to come after me. This isn't over for me. He's made that public. So I believe he's gonna try to go on the run. I really do. I think the guy will try to just get out of country and go somewhere where he doesn't think that they will expedite him. And I'm telling you what, anybody out there listening, if he goes to a country where the U.S. military cannot expedite him, or the three-letter agencies, look me up, libertywarriornation.com. If somebody pays for my plane ticket, I'll go round that little rascal up. I'll drag his ass back here where he can stand trial for the crimes against humanity. I have no problem putting my ass online doing that, because that guy deserves everything that's coming to him. He is one evil SOB.
Well, I talked today on Podbean, Mike, from Birx. Remember, Dr. Birx
Mm-hmm.
was there alongside Fauci, and she came out and said, you know what? There was no science. We actually manipulated and played with numbers, that we overshot the efficiency of the Jabberdoodle, and that basically it was not based on science. Between her book and other statements that she's made, it's circulating across social media and stuff, that she's saying, yeah, it really wasn't the science like we thought. And that, we did say, if you get it, you won't catch it or spread it. And none of it
All
came
that
true.
stuff is coming out. All that stuff is coming out. You guys check out Tucker Carlson from last week. He ripped up everything about the sickness and the vacations last week. Thursday and Friday night of last week, Tucker Carlson put out the facts.
Yeah.
Finally, Fox News is stepping up and doing something. It's not enough. Tammy, what's the chances of Fauci getting rounded up because of crimes against humanity, and somehow unexpectedly hangs himself with 2 gunshots to the head?
Probably pretty high. I'm waiting to see what happens to Ghislaine, Maxwell. Let's see what's going to
Well,
happen to
okay,
her.
so I was told today that she actually was transported to a low security prison today or yesterday or
Low
something.
security.
And I don't know if that came from Monkey Works. Jeff let me know about it. I don't know if Monkey put that out there or who put it out there, but I guess she was transported, to a low security. That seems awful
Oh,
odd.
that why would you do that when Epstein's not around anymore, and this is one of the biggest, to me, crimes against children you could ever imagine,
Yeah.
and it was a whole network that involved so many elites, so many people. How could you dare let the main person enter a low security prison? How does that make any sense whatsoever?
Well,
Am I missing
she
something,
she
Mike?
also she also only got 20 years. So everything that she did was beyond inimaginable, and she only got 20 years. So that tells me she rolled. She sung like a canary, and she told it all to get that lighter sentence. And I don't think there's anything over with that situation yet. Um, I think it's just starting, and I think they're going to name drop. I think you're going to hear the Clintons come out. You're going to hear many of those people that we've been hearing about. Their names are definitely going to start coming out, and I think they're going to get rounded up. Here's something else that I heard today.
Hmm.
The pit bull. He's on his way back. John Durham.
Durham. Dun
Indictments are
dun
coming.
dun dun. Dun dun dun
Old
dun.
John.
Okay.
Old
Yes.
John. He is getting ready. That's what I got from today was he's getting ready. And it's gonna come hard and fast. I think a lot of what Durham will put out will be probably focused on Hunter Biden. That's just my guess. I think there's so much on Hunter Biden right now that Durham will hand down indictments, and I think a lot of those indictments will be tagged to him. That's what I think.
And we have to, and I'm going to say that I believe Durham is a genius. First of all, he was so good at staying quiet and secret that people didn't even think he existed. And then when he finally walked into court, it was like dun 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 dun. You just felt the heat off the man walking in, like ooh, flames. Like he is real. He's ready for business. You have to remember, also with him, I believe he knew what was going to happen when he started cracking open this stuff because he is in DC, which is the heart of the swamp. So all the people, all the jurors, everybody are really blue state people, right? So I believe there were things that he handled the way he handled because he knew what would happen. So it could usher in this kind of stuff because he's no dummy. Don't think that man didn't go in there not knowing what he was doing, right?
I believe Durham is gonna drop some stuff that is just gonna make people go, "What the?" And for some of us who have been paying attention for quite a while, I think we'll just kind of go, "Yep, we knew that was coming. We knew that one was coming too." But I really believe people on the left, people, your neighbors, your friends, the people at work, your
Yeah.
family, that have been saying for a long time, you know, this is just conspiracy theory. You guys are all crazy. It's far from conspiracy. It's coming to be fact, and it's coming real fast.
Yeah, it's exciting times. Like you saw me, I got excited just at the mention of his name. Where before people were like, "Ah, who's that? He's not real. He's not around. Nothing's happening." Now you hear his name, it's like, "Woo, yay!" Like, can't wait to see him walk in again. And like I said, we were at the precipice of this, I believe, and you said it many times that the shift has happened, and I believe it is. I think that we're at the top and it's starting the crap is starting to roll downhill and we're starting to see it all in its exposure. It is the dark to light that we were promised. Everything's being exposed because they can only get away with it for so long, because when patriots stand up and start exposing it and start investigating, we are the many, they are the few. So we've hunkered down and tried to do the best we can to find out what's going on, to pay attention, and to educate other people. And it's amazing at this point. The hard work is paying off. It's well worth it.
Tammy.
Yes.
Timber.
Timber. I like that word a lot.
Timber coming to a town near you. Maybe we'll start. Maybe we'll do a tour across America, and on the side of the van it'll say timber.
I like that a lot. And I wanted to bring up something light too, Mike, about Barron Trump, because, he made an appearance for Ivana's funeral last week or so. And, he was really towering over a lot of people. Trump is no short man. Isn't he like 6'3" or something? But
Yeah.
Barron is only 15 years old, and he's
He's
6
16.
foot
He's 16.
or 16. Okay, so it says that he's over a foot taller.
He's almost 17.
Really? It says 15-year-old. It's Twitter. I mean, this must be an older. No, it was a new article.
He's 16
so they must
now.
They must be off.
He's 16 now. He's soon to be 17.
Well, okay, I'm not going to argue that point. The point I'm trying to make is you're right, I'm wrong. I want to say he's 6'7". That's tall. That is tall for a 16, almost 17-year-old. That is amazing to me. And in the article, they're talking about how Trump names a lot of his buildings Trump Towers. And I think that's pretty cool and kind of coincidental that you would name your building's towers and your son is that tall. It's just a weird little data point that I find very interesting. I'm amused.
Well, don't forget to read that book.
I have the book, you guys. I started the
know.
book. It's the amazing journeys of Baron Trump. That, you guys, I'm telling you, if you don't know about this
No,
book,
you're wrong about that. It
okay.
is.
I'm excited. What's the name of it?
It's Baron's Marvelous Underground Adventure.
But there's 3 of them, so I'm starting at the first one, and then the second one, and then the last president is the last one.
Last
And
president.
it's only this big, Mike.
The
It's like
last
a
president.
Yes. So if you guys haven't read them or got them, I highly suggest you do it. And at the beginning, it was hard to wrap my head around because the writing is from back early times, and I'm like, whoa, it's but then it gets into it, and you get some keywords, and then you start rolling, and you're like, wait a minute, this is crazy. Yep. So that's another reason I wanted to bring that up was the book, even though I had the wrong name. So thank you. I can count on you to remember the proper names, Mike.
I try. Some people are saying his birthday isn't until March 20th, but the article that I read said that he was 16. So I don't know, 16, 15. The point is the kid is 6'7" and he's not even 18. I mean, he's still got 4 years, 6 years to grow. The kid could end up being,
I know, it's crazy.
17 years old and 7 foot tall. I don't.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
That's tall.
He's a good-looking kid, and he doesn't really hunch over either. The other point I wanted to make is when you do see him, the rare instances you do, he stands tall and proud and strong because a lot of tall people have a tendency to hunch over. You try to shrink yourself down. And that kid, because he's been raised around, obviously, a strong father and mother, nice and strong, nice and tall, and he'll do Trump proud. It's pretty amazing.
Yes, he will. We're going to talk about the Doomsday plane here in just a minute. So stick with us. But I want to bring up something that Trump said in his speech. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. I can't remember. But I want people to realize this, okay? Before we get to the Doomsday, Trump said this. And Tammy, we've been talking about this for a long time. Obviously, he was mistreated for 4 years. Okay. He was mistreated for longer than that. They came after him the minute he walked down those stairs and said, I'm going to run for president of the United States. Everybody stabbed him in the back. Everybody turned their back on him. Lamestream media went after him. The View went after him.
Ooh,
so many people went after him. And he was mistreated for a long time. I mean, he had to fight lamestream media, he had to fight the left, and he had to fight his own party.
Yes.
So obviously what happened November of 2020 was a selection and not the other thing. So he could have just walked away. He could have said, you know what, I've been beat up for so long, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm just going to go back to my billions of dollars and go play golf for the rest of my life. But he didn't do that. He's been fighting since the night of November of 2020. He hasn't given an inch. He's never conceded, not once.
Don't forget
he's
that.
never conceded. But he said in his speech, and I want people to pay attention to what I'm about to say, because I thought it was pretty powerful. He said, if I was to quit today, if I was to give up my beliefs, if I was to give up America, if I was to just go back to playing golf and minding my own business, guess what would happen? They'd leave him alone. So you got to ask the question, why are they still attacking him?
Why are they?
Just a question I have. I'm full of questions.
Oh, you are. But yeah, he didn't concede. He's not talking about anything else. He's just talking about fighting for your country, stand up, stand out, elect the people that are for the people first, America first. Why are they going after
Tammy, let
him?
me ask you a question. Is Trump a guy who makes promises and doesn't keep them?
Heck to the no, Mike. Not that I
All
know
right.
of.
So on his inauguration, did he not say, we will give the power back to the people?
Yes, he did.
Has he
Yes.
fulfilled that promise yet? Is he going to break that promise? No, he's not. He's got one great promise left to fulfill, folks. I'm telling you, Trump ain't going anywhere.
He never has. He never has, Mike. He's stayed on the forefront of this fight. In whatever shape or form he is in, like I said, to me, it doesn't matter. The point that people have to remember is he's still out there fighting for this country, fighting for we the people, and encouraging us to stand up and get moving. And if he can do it at 74 years old with targets all around him and his family all these years, why the heck can't we do it and support him? Why wouldn't we?
Hey, I'm on Trump's side. I'm in his corner. I'm going to be there at some of these Trump rallies here very, very soon, broadcasting with you, Tammy, and with LWN. And I'm not giving up. I'm not giving in. I will not consent. I do not concede either. I will not comply.
No way.
And if he hasn't conceded yet, why the hell would we? Don't throw
Exactly.
in the towel. If Trump has not conceded, don't throw in the towel. I know you're tired. I know you struggle. I know you want it to be over. But listen, get up, holler at the TV screen if you have to right now and say, we're not giving up. We're not giving in. We're going to back this guy, and he is coming back as our president of the United States.
And don't forget about this too, Mike. Mike Lindell is another patriot and fighter. How much money and time and effort has he sacrificed to bring,
Millions.
yes,
Millions.
yes, to bring certain things, the cyber symposium and other things to our attention. And he's not done yet either. He's been fighting the good fight. And he's another amazing fighter and patriot. So yeah, we are talking about Trump because he's at the forefront of it, but he sure in the heck does have one heck of a support group and other patriots that are out there doing it. And as Trump led the way, other patriots step forward because it only takes one. It only takes one great leader to influence and encourage and make us realize we have a lot more power and strength than we thought we did through God Almighty and through our God-given rights. We do. So it's an amazing time. It really is.
It is. Well, let's get to the last topic of tonight. Everybody's been waiting for it.
Oh,
And let's talk about the Doomsday Plane. Let's
oof.
talk about what the Doomsday Plane is actually for. Do you know what it's for, Tammy?
Yes, that should everything be shut down, all the electronics, everything. The president of the United States can still fully function in the doomsday plane no matter what. Everything.
Do you know I was told that the Doomsday Plane could take a direct hit? And I believe even
Wow.
nuclear hit, I'm not sure. But it
Whoa.
is a huge plane. Have you seen the beginning of the show before we went live? The photo of the Doomsday Plane is actually on the thumbnail for this video. And if you haven't seen the Doomsday Plane, you guys should Google it, look it up, check it out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty massive. So what happens is if something was to happen to America and the president was unsafe, maybe the White House gets taken out. Heck, I don't know.
Mhm.
They put him on that doomsday plane, and he actually runs the country from that plane, and it's got so much stuff in it. It's massive, man. It actually is bigger than Air Force One. Did you know that?
Mhm. I know that it's a pretty, impressive, I don't know, I don't wanna do it injustice by calling it a piece of machine a great piece of machinery, but I mean, I can't imagine the controls in it, how it gets up there carrying him. I mean, to think that a plane could have all that in it, that a president could run a country from it is just mind-blowing. There's so many things, that's what I mean, Mike, there's so many things we don't know about that are out there that are good, that are helpful. And I think this is a good example of something that we think we know everything it can do, but I don't really think we do. Just like the Beast, they did
Hmm.
different things with that vehicle and showed it, but they're not going to show us everything, nor would they.
No,
Why should they?
no, no, they're not going to show us everything. And when we talk about Trump being in those type of motorcades and stuff, um, he's protected for a reason. We know what happened on November of 2020. Um, the truth is out there. If you haven't seen it, look at the 2K donkeys, look at True the
Yes.
Vote, and we're getting ready to be part of another phase two that's getting ready to come out with more truth. What happened on November of 2020? Um, I think it's good that it actually happened, and I've said that before. I know that probably upsets a lot of people, but just think about this for just a moment. If that did not happen, we wouldn't have been aware of how much corruption was really there. Honestly,
Yes. Yes.
we would have never known it. So, did T win in 2020? Absolutely, hands down. I know a lot of people think that he won all 50 states. I don't think he won all 50. I'm going to go ahead and say I believe he won probably 48. But he definitely won by a massive slide. And I think 2024 is going to be all 50. If he didn't get all 50 last time, he'll get all 50 this time. I promise you that. I'll bet on that one. But the Doomsday Plane, what I was told, normally stays right here locally in the United States, unless the Trump and unless Trump unless Trump travels outside the United States.
Then
Well, unless the president travels outside the United States, then the Doomsday Plane goes with him with Air Force One. So Monkey just put out a little while ago that the Doomsday Plane is actually heading to South America. And you got to
interesting.
ask yourself, why is it heading to South America? Now, I know that Trump is actually scheduled tomorrow to speak on a policy tomorrow, the 26th. So we're trying to wrap our heads around, um, yeah, YouTube to start taking down all video with misinformation on abortion. Here we go.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
going to censor us any way they possibly can. And guess what? We don't care. We're still putting it out there. So you got to ask yourself, why would that doomsday plane be traveling to South America? Because
Mhm.
I'm trying to put pieces together with Jeff. He's told me his opinion on it. And if Trump is supposed to speak in DC tomorrow, why would that be heading south? Is Trump there? I don't know. I was told that there's facilities in South America too, just in case things were to go sideways. That things could be ran from certain locations. Um, I don't know if I can say any more than that, but why is it headed south? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't. And to me, the less sense it makes, the more sense it makes. Let's put it that way for me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and you're right. If he's supposed to be over there tomorrow, maybe there's a pickup and delivery. Who knows, Mike? We're
I
just
don't know.
guessing.
That's a long way to fly. So I don't know. I don't remember if I was told if Air Force One was actually flying with it because I've had so many conversations today. But the Doomsday, I don't know. Maybe Jeff can answer it in chat for me if it's flying solo. Because the president doesn't just fly around on the doomsday. The
Right.
president is in an Air Force One. I'm just saying, if something happened, um, like a nuke hits or something,
Right.
crazy happens, then that changes the whole scenario of the government. So I don't know. It's just awful, awful strange. Um, for that thing to be heading out of country to South America. Could it be a distraction? It very well could be. Are they tucking somebody away? I don't know.
Right.
I just find it really strange that that thing would be traveling that far to the south.
on its
without,
own.
yeah, just
It's on
really,
its
really
own,
odd.
yeah. It is because even if it's, because I've watched through Monkey and on my own, sometimes it goes up Air Force One's up. They do little routine. What do you call them? With the Air Force One going up and down too. Like what do you call it, Mike? Like just routine with them. You know what I
Routine
mean? But
flights,
there you go, routine
exercises,
flights. There we go,
exercises.
exercise. That's what I was looking for. But they don't go to South America for that, right? So they usually go up right around DC, fly around a little bit, maybe across the country a little bit, come back, boom, done. Uh, that is just bizarre. It makes zero sense. But then again, nothing makes sense, so to speak. You got to look a little deeper. All the visuals are just distractions. You're right. It's just a distraction. Go a little deeper and try to find out. Sometimes these little nuggets that are out there take some digging and take some time to figure out. Sometimes you don't get the immediate answer. But the point is, that's why you have to stay alert and you have to pay attention because it is very irregular and it makes no sense.
Something else that's down in South America that I just thought of, but Jeff is saying that it's going deep into South America. But don't
Wow.
forget that there is actually um, troops on the ground in South America. I don't remember where it was reported, but there are Chinese and Russian troops down there. So is the Doomsday plane flying over for some reason because of that? I don't know. It's just it's pretty interesting. And if you guys want to catch more, you can catch it over there at Monkey. He just put it out sometime this morning or late afternoon. You guys can go watch that. You can catch up on what they're talking about. But I just wanted to kind of throw that out there at you guys tonight that there is some very strange things that are still going on. And you can't deny that this is the strangest last, 18, 19 months that we've ever seen.
It certainly is. It's been exhausting, but exhilarating at the same time. A roller coaster ride, a journey that we'll never forget, and it's all going to go down in history. I think it's amazing that we're alive at a time like this because we'll be able to tell the grandchildren, children, generations, write it down on our own personal journals and save it for family members, generations to come, because we are living, to me, in a biblical times, historical times, and it's going to be amazing.
Well,
But
you
John
can
H.
you can read the comment that Jeff B put in there too, and he says that all the time when he calls me. He goes, "Dude, this stuff is." Oh, and it is too. It makes him really think. It's when he calls me and we have conversation about this. It's just
John
like,
H.
dude,
Yeah.
what is going on? So I did send Jeff B the link if he wants to hop up here real quick.
Yeah. So John H. That was
Check
a
your
very good
email.
point.
Check your email, Jeff. It's in your email. But yeah, it's really, really strange the things that keep happening, and we're proud to be here and to be discovering it with you guys. And I really think that we have the best is yet to come. Seriously, like we haven't even got to the best parts yet.
Oh, not at
Um,
all.
when it really starts going crazy and people are rounded up, that to me is going to be the best part. Seeing some justice for the things that they've done to the American people and the people around the world.
Absolutely. I feel like we're just getting a few little crumbs of goodness, but it's enough to satisfy the appetite for the moment. But when you just said that, my hands started sweating because just the thought of the roundup and the arrests and the look on the faces of people and to be busted because boy, this is not just simple things they've done to this country and even the world and the people. I mean, it's catastrophe. It's horrendous things. It is all about justice being served because these people are not for the people or the country. They are traitors. They've done very bad things just to line their own pockets. We've said before to have families involved lining their families' pockets. You look at a lot of these representatives and
Yeah.
congressmen and senators. They have family that have connections with the China place. All these different dealings, and they're not clean, pure, and good. Like, you know what I mean? You talk about Mr. T and his family and how they went after him. They really didn't find a whole lot. I think Stormy Daniels was the big story. Ooh, Stormy Daniels from back in the day, which was proven false. Here you have Biden and his son with a laptop with all this video, all this audio, 3 of them, I think there was. And there's crickets from the media. They're really not saying a whole heck of a lot about it. And you look at how tilted that is, and that just shows you that they are not for justice or this country. They are about control, domination, and getting rich. And it's never enough. It's never enough for them. They want more, 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 and they could care less about us. They want us to shut up, listen, take all the jabs they tell us we better take. They want to, we talked about this on Podbean to Mike today about the Agenda 21 stuff. And it's sickening. It's never good about unity, family, God, country, and USA. It's all about control, evil, and taking out the old, conditioning and programming the young. It's just terrible. And we need to stop it.
Break those chains. We're going to break those chains, and America is going to be great again. Tammy, I'm going to roll in the final thought. It's getting to that time, and I got to get back to work.
Okay.
So I'll let you go first. It's been a great night. It's been a great, great night. And I see a lot of people in chat. Jeff was having a good time tonight. A lot of people here, and we appreciate you guys. Hit that like button for us. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, but more importantly, share this out. Share these videos out, and we're going to need a huge audience when we get to Missouri. So you're not going to want to miss Missouri. So invite your family, invite your friends, invite your coworkers to come over here and check out LWN.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to say, you know what? Just stay positive, stay strong. I always say go in prayer. You can never pray enough to get your strength back, get your clarity. If you've been watching a bunch of different things going on and it gets overwhelming, just disconnect for a few minutes, regroup, and come back at it, and ask God to expose what needs to be exposed in you, your truth, what you need answers for, and He will. I'm just saying, stay on your path. It's a very narrow path to follow God and fight for country. Don't get distracted by all the noise and the ugliness in the world. Just keep your head up, stand tall, and move forward.
Amen. My final thought. Man, I've been taking that stuff, and this little bottle right here helps with the sinuses. I know you can't read it.
I have that. Yep, it's called X-Layer Rescue Nasal Spray. We'll do an ad for it.
Go ahead, do an ad for it, Tammy.
It's all natural, you guys, and it clears out your sinuses. You shoot it up there, and it has eucalyptus, oregano, tea tree, and parsley oil. It's all natural, all organic. When it goes up, it stings, but then when it comes down the sinus, through the back, it feels like, ooh, and then you can breathe, and it's organic. So get some at your local health food store. There you go. How you like that, Mike? Now they owe me like $20,000. No,
that was good. That was good.
It is good. It is good stuff.
Promptu commercial right there.
Yes,
all right,
there we go.
Well, here's my final thought. I just don't want people to get discouraged because we have so much to be grateful for. We do live in a great country, even though we get censored, even though we're attacked. We live in the greatest nation in the world that has been absolutely blessed by God. I can't say that enough. I know it's tough right now. I know things seem like they're just going and rolling downhill, but you know what? All we got to do is do our part and fight back, and we will make America great again. It is already great, but it could sure be a whole lot better. So when I make that statement, make America great again, we're talking as great as it was 3-4 years ago, because that was the best that we've ever seen it. And the other thing that I have to say in my final thought is the best is yet to come. And I just think that we are on a path here for some greatness. And I think not only is Trump a leading force of that, but patriots standing up for their rights, knowing their rights, getting to know their constitutional sheriff. If you don't have a constitutional sheriff, you better get involved in the voting system and make sure that you vote in a constitutional sheriff. Getting involved in all your local levels to help make America great again. That's what I think for my final thought tonight. And thanks, Tammy, for jumping on here with me. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. It was a great night.
Yeah.
Love you all. That's it for tonight, folks.
That's a wrap, right?
That's a wrap. All right, guys.
All right.
We'll catch you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and I will be back tomorrow evening. Thank you, guys. Love you all.
Bye.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can blend in with the crowd? I'm so scared